Hi guys, and welcome back to Rustic Cottage Studio. Today we are going to actually have a little bit of Christmas in July because I need to get some stockings done. I know you were expecting the tumblers and I am so sorry, but they are buried in that room, and until I get my studio done, I can't really get to them. But I am in the process of getting my studio completed. All I have to do is go get the materials. I have somebody that's going to do it for me. And then we will move all of this out there and I'll have more room. You guys will be able to see a lot more, and I'll be able to create a lot more. But for today, we're going to throw a little bit of Christmas in July with our stockings. I've had these since December, since right after Christmas when I got them, because we need to upgrade some of our stockings for our children. Yes, I said children, not grandchildren. Our children are grown, but they still get a stocking. So if you're ready to put some names to these stockings, join me in Cricut Design Space. Let's get crafting. The first thing you need to do before we can begin creating is to get our measurements. There is nothing worse than creating something, cutting it out, and then it doesn't fit because it's too big or it's too small. So with that said, let's take our measurements. We'll start with a Let Snow stocking, and it is 8 wide by 4.5 or 4.5. It's actually a little bit more than 4.5, but I'd rather go under than over. Now let's measure out the stocking with the tree on it, and it is 7.5 wide and 4.5 high. So they're both the same height, but the one with the tree is ½ inch shorter than the Let Snow one, which is why I wanted to measure both to make sure. Now let's go over to our Cricut Design Space. And what you want to do to start is go ahead and go to Shapes, grab the little rectangle here, click on the color and change it to white. And then we're going to come up here to Size, click off of the lock, and you're going to size this one to 8 wide by 4.5 tall. Lock it back. And now you're going to duplicate this one, because the next one we want the same height, but we need it to be 7.5 instead of 8. And then make sure you lock it back. So the 8 wide is the Let Snow, and the 7.5 wide is the tree. I have 2 of these tree, and I have 3 of the Let Snows. Actually 2 Let Snow and 1 with a snowman that says ho ho ho, but they're all the same size. So this one has specific names going to it, and this one has specific names going to it, and I'm just going to do it once. So let's start. I'm going to bring it over here because when I drop down the text or the font, I need to be able to see it. Okay, so click the T in the side column, and we're going to bring this over here, and you're going to type in the name that you want in. This is let's start with Christian. This is my daughter. This is the 8 wide, so that one, let me put this one over here. I need a 7.5. Put her up here. Now I'm going to come down here to font, and I already know the font that I want. Is it in here? Yes, number 5. Mine popped up automatically under the recent. If not, you could go to anywhere else and just type in the font that you want if you know the name of the font. If not, you can do the search. But this is what I want, and I need to size it accordingly. I don't want it to go all the way across. This one was 7.5. Let's make it 7 wide. And notice I did not unlock the lock on this one. That's because I want the text to stay proportionate. All right, perfect. And it doesn't matter the color because you're going to add that yourself. So now that I have hers done, let me just, all I did was duplicate it. And now, and I will have to shrink up this one, but I'm also going to move that out of the way. I also want to take away all this space because this is going on a stocking. You don't need so much space. And basically you just keep clicking the line space until you get it where you want it. Alright, now I'm going to post this in here, and that actually, I don't have to change anything else. This fits perfectly in there. Okay, so this one is done, and that one is done, and I only needed 2 for this one, so I can delete this now because we don't need it anymore. Now for this one, I'm going to switch places. Actually going to duplicate this one because of the 3 I've got one that has 2 names. There we go. And perfect. It fits in there very perfectly. I didn't have to change anything on that. If I make it any bigger, then we're going to grab both of these, move it down. So you can see if I change the height, make it bigger, then we're going to run into going off of that, and I don't want to be right on the edge any more than what I have to be. Now I can take Christians and duplicate it. Change it. Perfect. And one more. And this one we just need to widen it up. And perfect. Really and truly, we could make Austin and Stevens bigger, but I'm going to keep them all the same size. Now take out the rectangle, and I am going to save this extra stockings because I did have one already saved, but because I had welded and all this other stuff, I couldn't really duplicate any to get the same font, and I really like this font, so this is one we're going to use. Alright, go to, make sure I'm on the right one, and I am. Go to make. And I wonder, before I go changing the size of the mat, I want to make sure that I can get it all. I can. Make sure. Take and put it on a 12 by 12. Alright. I'm going to take Christian and move to the first one because I know I can fit it all on here. Josh there. We're going to turn Christian around here. And now we'll go back over, grab Austin. We're going to move him to the first one as well. I'm going to turn his just like that. I like to try to save as much room as I can. You click off of the name that you're moving around, you get just the solid, and that helps you to see exactly where you're at. You also want to look to make sure is there a line in between each, or is it solidly going? And for this font, it's solidly going. If not, it will cut each individual letter, and you don't want that. Perfect. Now we just send it to the Cricut and let it cut. Now that we have our iron on, cut and weeded, it's time to put it on our, and I'm sorry if the camera shakes, but it's time to put it on our stockings. So before that, we need to turn on our machine, heat press at 320, medium pressure, 15 seconds. I'm actually going to use, and I hope it turns out okay, but I'm going to use my HTV automatic heat press. So I'm going to turn that on to 320 for 15 seconds. While we're waiting on that to heat up, let's prep our stockings and get them ready. So I want to go ahead and use my lint roller. And I am so sorry if my table is shaking. Place one of our names. Just like so. I didn't realize I had that turned backwards. There we go. And even though this has got sticky on it, I like the added protection, or the, not protection, but the security of knowing that it is on there. All right, let's do the rest of them. So the last time I used this, I did one at a time, and it made it lopsided a little bit. So I'm hoping that since I'm doing it on both sides, that it'll be okay. Move these stockings out of the way. And let's see, pushing that down. And I have it set for the automatic, so when it's done, it'll automatically pop up. And these are warm peels. I'm limited on the space that I'm working with. So let's see, 15 seconds. Make sure you can see. Perfect. And remember, as always, make sure you're letting this set for 24 hours before you try to wash it or anything. I don't plan on washing my stockings. These are fine, but I am going to let them set before doing anything with them. Let's see. Oh, nope, this one come up. See that? So this one has to go back in. Ugh, this is what I hated, because this one I would be lopsided. Hopefully it'll be okay. So I'm going to do that for another. Hot. Let's see. Perfect. All right. A little warm. Those two are done. Set those to the side. Now, this one is going to be a little trickier because, oh, I was hoping to be able to do all three of them at once, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. Well, no, I might be able to. Hold on. If I get in the way of the camera, I do apologize. Studio gets done, I'll have counter space eventually. Oh, it didn't go all the way in. Okay, now. Yes, this would have been easier had I used my Cricut Easy Press. And I probably wouldn't have struggled as much. And that is still a possibility. Same temp, same amount of time. But this is easier in a way for me. Take that out. This is why, sorry guys, this is why I was using my, and it's on there. Let's see. I'm trying to stay within frame. Perfect. Perfect. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. It is super, super easy to make these stockings, personalize them. I got my stockings from Hobby Lobby, so you can get pretty much any kind of stockings to do your iron-on with. I used, for my iron-on, I used the 405 that I got from Hobby Lobby, and it's the glitter iron-on, and it gives you on the box itself, on the side and on the back, it tells you exactly what temperature to set it at and for how long and what kind of pressure to set it out, which is really nice because not all iron-ons do that. Sometimes you have to look it up to find out. If your stockings can make it through another year, I suggest waiting until after Christmas when everything goes on sale to get your stockings. However, if you see a stocking that you're like, oh my gosh, I have to have that stocking, go ahead and get it, because there is a chance it's not going to be there at the end of the year or when Christmas stuff goes on sale. So my Hobby Lobby has started putting out Christmas stuff, so you can start looking at your Hobby Lobby to see if it's up there yet. So I don't know about you guys, but I think these turned out super, super cute. I like them. They're personalized and they will last for a long, long time. These may actually end up being the last bit of stockings that we have to do for our kids, which is no problem. If you stuck around to the end, comment below with a brown heart to let me know you're still here. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, may God bless you. Have a blessed day.